Hey guys, Greg Gavin here from GSG Training. Quick video with regards to train the trainer qualifications for first aid trainers. Okay, now I got a question asked me this morning by Mr. Mark Dawes from NFPS asking me what you require to be a first aid trainer. In the good old days, HSE accredited first aid training and certification. In 2013, they just took a step back from that and said they were no longer going to regulate it. And that was supposed to open the door for businesses to have more flexibility in the commissioning of training. What it meant was that instead of HSE, there was three separate routes that you could go for first aid. First one was you could set up your own in-house certification, where you could employ your own trainers and your own business, and as long as it followed the HSE syllabus, that was all good. The second one was that you could go outside of your business and go to a volunteer organisation, for example Red Cross, and they would provide the training for you. And the final option was to go to an externally accredited, awarding body regulated training provider like ourselves. No matter which of the routes that you went, everybody was held to the same accountability and standard. So they required a formal teaching qualification, they had to be competent in the sector, and they had to have robust policies and procedures in place for quality assurance. Okay, so first of all, let's deal with the teaching qualification. Well, if you've been in teaching and training for a long time, you'll know that the qualifications change and they're always changing the goalposts. Well, in 2013, when it changed over, what they said was you needed to be competent and have a trainer qualification. They updated that in 2015 and said that to offer it, you would need to have an assessing qualification as well. And that's where we're sitting just now. So in the olden days, it was one trainer, two assessors. So the trainer would do all the teaching side of it, and the assessors would, you would have two separate assessors doing the candidates and going through their practical and the question and answer. In 2015, they said that they revised what was the requirement. And what they said was, if you had the old style petals, so if you had the petals, which was the 6 credit at either level 3 or level 4, you could teach, but you require a separate qualification for assessing. If you've got the 12 credit petals, then depending on your awarding organisation that you gained it through, you may be able to offer the training and assessing yourself, but it all depends on the units that you covered, and the unit that you require is Principles and Practices of Assessment. Now, some of the awarding bodies worded it slightly different, and that's the only unit. Principles and Practices of Assessment is the only unit accepted or recommended by the HSE guidelines. So if you've got one of the other ones, I'm sorry, but it's not fit for purpose. Okay, so 6 credit petals, either level 3 or level 4, you require a top up. 12 credit petals, if you have it with the Principles and Practice of Assessment, you're good to go. If you've got the old style kettles or detals, they have enough assessment criteria in the modules that you're good to go with that as well. Now, we then progressed from that to the award in education and training. The award in education and training has the unit Principles and Practices of Assessment. Therefore, you're good to go with that. So if you've got the level 3 AET, the level 3 certificate in education and training, or the diploma, the level 5 diploma in education and training, you're good to go. You're able to offer it. Okay. Good news is, if you've got the old style petals, you don't need to do a full assessor's certificate, which is the level 3 certificate in assessing vocational achievement. You can get away with just doing the award in Principles and Practices of Assessment, which is a single unit, and you can just do that as a top-up. Personally, I would say go and get either the award in vocational achievement or the full certificate, the 12 credit certificate, because you're opening more doors to yourself, and you're actually you're raising the bar for your own qualification level in CPD. Okay, so that's the teaching qualification you require. You need to also be able to prove competence. Now, the competence section, the awarding organisations require you to have a valid certificate, which is the Level 3 First Aid at Work. Now, that is an 18-hour course, which can be delivered over 3 days, and that gives you the knowledge base. Personally, I don't think it gives you the competence level to teach the first aid, and I would recommend, in my opinion, you do a train the trainer course, even if you've got the teaching qualifications to do to actually offer it, and for an awarding body to actually take you on board. But I would recommend that you do either a blended course which has the Level 3 award in education and training, or if you've already got the certificate, you do the train the trainer side, so that you actually see how you have to teach the separate sections, because it can be quite complicated. Now, if you're going to be teaching a higher level of first aid than appointed person, basic life support, or emergency first aid at work, or the 3-day first aid at work, and you're going for the higher ones, which are like first responder, FPOS, you also require more certification for that. Now, if you need any advice on that, we offer the train the trainer, so if you want to get in touch with us, we can help you get through that. We also do the award in assessment, the Principles and Practices of Assessment, and the certificate in vocational achievement, assessing vocational achievement. So get in touch if you want any advice on that. The final section that I want to talk about is the robust quality assurance. Now, if you're going to be working with an awarding organisation, or if you are going to offer it as an in-house, or you're part of a voluntary group, you have to have the same levels of quality assurance in place that is required by Ofqual or the Scottish Qualifications or Qualifications Wales. They all require you to have a Level 4 IQA, Internal Quality Assurance qualification, and you have to have robust practices in place where you're auditing and you're giving a good due diligence for the courses actually being passed. Okay, so we also offer that. If you're interested or looking for advice on that, or you just want to chat to give yourself a little bit of to ease your mind, give me a shout. My contact details will be above or below or wherever this video has been posted. Get in touch with me, Greg Gavin at GSG Training. Our website is www.gsgtraining.co.uk. Give me a shout, hit me up. Advice is always free, and I will help you as much as I can. Okay. Hopefully that answers all the questions. Hopefully that will give you some insight into what you can do. Might even open a door to you and suggest that you could get on board and offer more training. Hopefully it improves your business and gives you more revenue streams. Speak to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.